And finally, after innumerable plans and planning committees, it was Kairos, God's time, for a larger home for His church at Pleasant Hills. The nominating committee selected 9 persons, with Mary Tully as chair, who worked closely with Pastor Ward Himes and Crumroy Construction Company. We held the first service of worship in our Church of Dreams on October 22nd in the year 2000.
And then Pastor Ward called me and asked me to chair a committee which had been nominated by the nominating committee, which did not have a defined task. And on that committee were Joy, you were there, Lynn Castle, Bob Jones, B. Gorsuch, Ken Fields, Eric Pelly, Del Caputo, and Victor Villa. And in retrospect, as a chairperson, I could not have asked for a better committee. At every meeting, we just felt the presence of God as we tried to make the decisions and reach everything on consensus.
In the early days when we were meeting at Kepi School, we didn't have any place either. And so I had gone over to Ridgewood to the little chapel that is there. And I thought how nice that was to be able to go into a quiet place that looked like a church to help with my feelings about the whole thing. And I think all of us were feeling that.
We were not accessible to those with handicaps of any kind, and we did accomplish that. And with our portico, we were able to enable those who took a little longer to get out of the car to get in the sanctuary safely at ground level.
It's more than just a church for the members. It's a community center. We have Boy Scouts, we have
Jazzercise,
Daycare Center, Methodist Men.
Well,
And we really wanted to use the old furniture, and that members of the church, Frank Holt and others, had constructed that. And I remember Ward saying, when we put it in place, it blended in perfectly.
When we first got together as a committee and named it, it might have came up as an idea for me for Church of Dreams, but the dreams were everybody's. That's why we had a committee. Everybody dreamt from when it first was built to the future to where we were, and that's how we got the name Church of Dreams. Everybody agreed that really taught the whole concept.
For this slight momentary affliction is preparing us for an eternal weight of glory beyond all measure. Because we look not at what can be seen, but what cannot be seen. For what can be seen is temporary, but what cannot be seen is eternal. For we know that if the earthly tent we live in is destroyed, we have a building from God, a house not made with hands, eternal in the heaven.
That was the perfect piece to open up our first meeting, the Corinthians. And that, like you said, if you read it, it describes the work that we did. And we really did that.
We built a church on the rock.
And none of us were experienced, you might say.
Certainly not the chairperson.
the cooperation that we got from the people of the church was just unbelievable. It seemed that everyone was in sync in wanting to build this sanctuary.
Each of our financial campaigns had the word dreams or dream in it, and the final one, 2 + 2, and the dream comes true. That's what we're working on currently, and I have no reason to believe it won't be an overwhelming success.